So we're going to be looking at the theme of family. Now, family is a wonderful thing, but it can be a tricky thing too. So we're going to be looking at ways that you can talk about memories of family then and now, and also celebrate the lovely things and explore some of the other aspects of family life. You might want to think about the house that you grew up in, what it looked like from outside, maybe how it was decorated, maybe the neighbourhood as well, who lived where, what was nearby, were there any shops, things like that. Not everyone's grown up in a nuclear family with 2 parents and 2 siblings and a dog or a cat. So it's really good to think about how you can remember and how you can ask questions of those when talking about family. People will have lived in lots of different groupings, some small families, some big families, and it's really good to remember all the different kinds of ways to make up a family. You could ask, for example, who was part of your home when you were growing up? What made up your family? And that allows people to be able to talk more freely in an open way about what family looked like for them. You might want to use photos and pictures as a starting point. Thinking about family photos, there are lots of different kinds of family photos that you could use. Some here are very old. We've got some of some siblings here, probably taken over 100 years ago. And some others of children. Or this is a family shot, a mum, a dad and a child, probably taken around the time of the beginning of the First World War. So this family has only got 1 child in it, so far at least. We've got other photos here. Again, this looks like another just off to war, First World War one. And this looks like siblings, I think. A mum, a dad actually, some older brothers and some younger children too. This family has, by the looks of things, 4 children in it and a mum and a dad. A photo of a mum and a baby. So this is a really standard photo from a certain period of time, Edwardian by the looks of things, of a proud mother with a child. Maybe you might want to think about finding some photos to talk about with family from a different era. This one is of cousins in West Sussex in about the late 1930s, along with their dog on a front doorstep. You could ask who those people in the photo are. You could talk about what they're wearing. You could maybe wonder where they live and think about the relationships in those families. Any of those are good questions to ask if you're thinking about family ties. And then from that, you can move on to family trees. Maybe you could make your own. They don't always need to be too complicated. You could do something really similar to this. You can think about a way to remember home life and get everyone to draw up a family tree in your group or in your family. Start with your parents and then name the children. And you can talk about the family relationship, so feelings as well if you want to and feel able to, and just have a think about who makes up your family and what you've inherited from that family. You could also talk about things outside of the family, so you might want to think about what you used to do when you wanted to go and see the doctor, who your dentist was, any illnesses and ailments you had when you were growing up, and how they were treated in your family. How did you look after each other? Let's also talk about rules and regulations. So when you were growing up, were things stricter then than they are now? Remember that proverb, spare the rod and spoil the child. What used to happen if you misbehaved when you were young? Did you get sent to your room? Did you get your hand slapped? How were you treated and what happened? How are things different now? What do you notice about the difference between modern life and the way children are with their families now and the way they used to be?